What is up, y'all? We are here for our weekly energy oracle forecast. We are just going to take a look at the week ahead to see what kind of energy we will be living and moving and having our being in this week. I will point out that I've noticed that the weekly energy oracle forecast usually aligns with both the Secret Teachings of Jesus episode that I do on midnight on Saturday night every week. And then it also aligns with the weekly Zohar portion and the lesson that is coming out of the Kabbalah Center from my teacher, Eitan Ardini. Or Yardini. And I think it's so interesting that the weekly portion of the Torah is always aligning with our weekly energy oracle forecast, and that my random choice of wherever we land in the Gnostic Gospels also aligns with our energy of the week. And I don't think that that's an accident. I think that the truth is always presenting itself from every layer, in every way, in every image, in every metaphor, in every circumstance, right? Nature reflects back the ultimate cosmic truths, right? Life's metaphors are always reflecting this back. So I don't think it's a coincidence at all. I think that's exactly how it does work. God leads us if we're open and we are actively trying to purify ourselves from our ego's agenda and actually empty the self of that and align ourselves with the heavenly, like divine agenda for us, then it's like the wisdom presents itself. We align with it. We start to resonate with that cosmic flow, and we fall into the guidance and the support that's always there anyway. It's just that we're like, oh, I've tuned into this frequency and now I'm directed to this, and I have eyes to see now and ears to hear. So the support is always there, and the more that we set our intentions to connect with it, the more it offers itself to us. So having said that, I think it's interesting because last night's portion of the Secret Teachings of Jesus, we were in the Gospel of Mary. And there was a very particular moment where Christ says to her, bless you for not wavering at seeing me. And I went on to discuss the concept of being able to hold space within the pain. That way the sacred can reveal itself. If we're too quick to shun away from what is tender, what is hard to take in, what is hard to accept, what is painful to us, if we shy away from that, then we don't get the wisdom, we don't get the beauty out of it either, right? In regards to both Mary sitting there through the crucifixion and witnessing and bearing that in solidarity with Jesus, but also being the one he was able to connect with first upon his resurrection. And so again, when her grief was so open and raw and tender in that moment, when he appeared to her, she did not shy away, but she was able to have a threshold for the pain that would allow her to stay in that space without shutting down. And so, interestingly enough, this week's portion involves the process of Jacob, who went through 7 years of difficulty and negativity, and he did not shy away from the negative experience, and he did not shy away from the pain, and because of that he was exalted, and he found God through that pain, and he also found the strength of God coming through him within moments where he thought he was too weak. He was able to go deep in and summon strength from the Creator to overcome, and to rise above that darkness and to best that darkness. And that's part of our ascension process, is having the ability to be resilient in any form of darkness the opponent throws at us, because that kind of like hold doesn't hold grip on us, right? And if we're liberated from the illusion of needing whatever the opponent is tempting us with fear or with grabbing or with desire or whatever it is, with lack, if that thing doesn't hold control or power over us, then it has we're not afflicted, we're not affected by it. We can transcend it. It doesn't, we pass the test, we pass the booby trap, right? We transcend, and free ourselves from the negative hold that force has on us, and instead transmute that, and we reveal power and dominion over the opponent in that area. So it's like knocking off a checklist of ways we're defeating the opponent. And once we embody that wisdom, it's like once you see, you can't unsee. It's like when a magician's tricks, like the behind the scenes, are revealed, then it ruins the illusion, right? So too with the opponent. So let's get some cards for the week. Oh my gosh, we have union, and the more we get rid of those illusions, the closer, like the layer by layer, the veils are drawn that separate us from seeing the creator and understanding the creator and being in communion with the creator. When we can hold space for the creator, like beyond when it's pleasant and magical and beautiful, but also within the thorns as well, that is true beauty, that is true devotion, that is true intimacy, right? When we look at a marriage, and that's how the creator sees us as a soul, we have to look at a marriage over a long term, and it's going to have its trials and tribulations, its sweet times and its times of darkness, right? Together, and then separation, of longing, of desire, of bringing back, right? Of making an effort. So it's not always just fluid perfection and rainbows. It's like sometimes we have to prove that we can get through those difficulties as well. And that deepens the connection and deepens the bond. And so that's true with long-term commitments, and it's true with us and the creator as well. So if we are able to embrace the moments, or at least think of it this way, like you don't have to wallow in despair when you embrace the pain, but you don't shy away from it either. You can let it wash over you without flinching away, and you can let it do its thing. It's like when we're trying to self-reflect, there's nothing more painful than feeling cringy about ourselves, right? Feeling shame, feeling that vulnerability of seeing how wrong we were, or seeing how dark we were about something, or ignorant, or cruel, or selfish, right? And so sorry, people keep trying to text me when I'm trying to do this. So we wish we would have done better. And a lot of times, instead of looking at that really good and hard, taking a good hard look at ourselves, owning the negativity, owning the cringiness, owning the regret, we try to bypass it by ignoring it, by covering it up, by numbing it, by, escaping from that truth about ourselves. You know what's easier? Finding blame and fault in another, right? And that's why we have to pick up our own cross. We're not assigned to nail other people to the cross. We're assigned to pick up our own cross and lay ourselves down and let ourselves be nailed to that cross. And that is the pain of self-examination, right? And so when you build a threshold to the pain and you're not afraid of it, you know it's not going to destroy you, but actually it's going to reveal something deeper and stronger and more beautiful through that process, then you can bear it, right? You can weather that storm, and you can see the benefits of the storm, right? So union, love that. Oh, okay, so we have these cards too that came out. Ooh, we have beginning. So I love that. It's like having a newlywed moment with the creator, the bridegroom. We're getting clear on the seeds that we want to plant for this next cycle, right? We're in autumn, and so in the Celtic rhythm of things, they would be thinking about the seeds like their desires, that what they would want to nourish and cultivate through winter, that they were hoping would come into fruition by spring, right? So in a way, we are in that, we always think about, oh, I'm going to plant seeds in the spring, and you don't plant seeds in the spring. That's too late, right? If you're a gardener, you're like, oh, you got to do something about getting those seeds started before we're clear of the frosts, depending on where you live. So, seed planting, right? Getting your vision, thinking about that, getting your heart in alignment with what you're already starting to nourish and create and work towards, right? Because the holidays are going to be busy, and then if we are lucky, we're going to be able to catch our breath in January, and we need to use that time wisely in January. So we need to be thinking right now, okay, if I had some extra time to myself, what are the most fruitful and fulfilling and aligned with divine plan, where's my soul calling me? What can I do with that time without squandering it or wasting it, right? We need to own that time, because we're turning from one era into the next era right now. Like astrologically speaking, there's huge cycles starting, a 330-year cycle starting and ending in February. So big things to come. And I talk a lot about this in detail in the 2026 prediction series, guys. And I am finished filming through August. So I've got September through December left. And then writing your descriptions and getting the thumbnails and all that post-production to get it launched. But I'll let you know as it's coming along. All right, so listening. This is the beginning of a new covenant, right, with the Creator, where we are unlocking a new ability to tune in and listen to the direction and the voice of the Creator. And in that, when we are in life's process and it seems difficult and things are coming at us and we're overwhelmed, we need to be like Mary, and we need to be like Jacob, and we need to not waver within the pain, and we need to look for, okay, where's the face of God in the situation, and where can I find the light of God within me that I can now become an even greater channel to let that shine through in this situation, even in the midst of this darkness, specifically in the midst of this darkness. So it's learning a new way to listen from the heart, to listen from the deepest parts of our mind, like the ears within the ears. We have eyes to see and ears to hear, right? We are listening. We are allowing that empty silence and space. Sometimes people are afraid to be alone with themselves. They're afraid of the silence because of all the chatter and the noise and the truth and the things that come up that are so painful. Right? And that's exactly what we're talking about. When you see the people who run away from silence and stillness with themselves, they're missing the gold, the treasure, right? Because when you can be in your own company and sit in stillness, and all of the noise and the dust in the air finally settles, you start to have these deep truths and profound revelations and insights come to you, if you want that. But you have to be able to face the fear of discomfort and pain, right? You have to be able to face that in order to truly open yourself up to be a vessel to receive, right? The download coming. And then hope. There is a lot of metamorphosis and transformation happening right now, even if it's not quite apparent physically yet on the surface in the 3D. It's happening below the surface. And so trust the process of metamorphosis, and keep yourself open to the upliftment of hope. Right? We hope in the good news of salvation and redemption and a new day. And we have faith and beyond reason, beyond doubt, in that transcends logic, right? We see logic, we understand logic, we know the situation. We're not, ignorant, we're not willfully ignorant, we're not avoidant, we're not turning away, we see it. And we can transcend that and choose to believe in the miracle. Choose to believe in hope, right? And speaking of, on December 2nd, if you are in Nashville, Davidson County, there is a special election being held this Tuesday, December 2nd. And it is important that we get out there and vote for Afton Bain. I have seen videos of her in chambers of meetings being dragged away by the state troopers, and she's fighting for justice and goodness for the people, holding on to the barristers and the banisters, like dragging her out. She is scrappy. She's a fighter. She is for the people, by the people, for the people. She is the people, right? And so she's got integrity. She's got grit. And everyone in the established political world, government, is terrified of her, and they're spending millions to try to take this election by some flesh puppet with strings attached. And so it was just basically a person there on behalf of the lobbyists and big pharma and big corporations and all of this stuff. So she's real people. She needs everyone who knows someone in Tennessee to make sure that the people in District 7 get out and vote for Afton Bain on December 2nd. You can check the Tennessee Voting District Lookup, I believe is what the website is called. It will have been updated in 2022 because the voting districts were gerrymandered in order to give the Republicans the advantage. So the Nashville, it has a Democratic, I think, tendency and mindset, and we are neighborly and we love people and we're hospitable and generous. And the maps were gerrymandered to favor the Republican agenda. And even before that, we were represented by big government, classic status quo Democrat who wasn't even barely a Democrat anyway. So we're loving Afton. District 7, because I'm District 6, so I don't get to vote. But District 7 includes Inglewood, Madison, parts of Clarksville, West Nashville, all of like Metro County. Then it goes down into Franklin. Franklin is the worrisome area because that's where the wealthy and selfish live. And then we have, unfortunately, historic East Nashville is in District 6. That's where I am. But a lot of this area going back behind the park and in the north side, like check your district because it might surprise you that you are in District 7. So this extends like deep into West Nashville and beyond and up north. And so check your district and get out and vote for Afton on December 2nd. An unknown source flyered Democrats in District 7 with fraudulent flyers that said that the vote was on December 3rd. That was a trick, an illegal trick at that. So December 2nd is the vote. Get out and ask someone to go vote who lives in District 7. Oh my gosh, and divinity, here we go. Actually, this is perfect because we have union. We are uniting with that divine guidance, co-creating a new story, a new chapter, a new covenant, having a new beginning where we are so much more in tune with the guidance of the divine because he's just waiting for us to open the receiver, right? We are the vessel. The light is pouring forth, wanting to share all the time, and we have to tune into that frequency. So the more that we become like the light, the more we can tune into that frequency. And why was Mary so tuned into the vision of Jesus? Because she was unwavering. Because she was unwavering in her vibration, in her emotions, even in those emotions, she didn't let her mind stray. She stayed in tune and she did not waver. She didn't break focus. She didn't try to control the narrative. She just let it unfold. She was receiving. She was listening. And because of her unwaveringness, because of her unfluctuating signal, she bared affinity with the eternal quality of the Creator to be unwavering and unfluctuating and unchanging. She was unchanging in her vibration, and so is the Creator. And so that helped them have bare affinity of form where they connected. Think about tuning in the radio dial to hit the frequency of the radio station, right? All the pieces have to be working and in play. And so we're fine-tuning our signal and our reception this week. And doing that with the ability to sit in stillness and to be able to have a threshold with facing our fear of discomfort and pain, because we have so much hope about the opportunity that will reveal so many diamonds and so many pearls and so much true transformation and metamorphosis, that the change is going to be so evident that the foundation is going to be laid, structure is going to be put up, and because we are vibrationally resonant with that new consciousness, the actions that we take will have long-lasting sustainable quality and will yield fulfillment. Whereas if we force the thing to happen in the physical first and we don't have vibrational resonance or the self-worth to hold that thing, or the understanding or the faith or the capacity yet to maintain that vessel, the vessel will break. It won't hold, right? So we're building that spiritual vessel, the vibrational vessel, the consciousness vessel, the effort that goes with it, so that when we get the thing, we can keep the thing and it will give fulfillment and not chaos and not wither and not spoil and not break and not crumble, right? All right, hope floats to the top. All right, you guys, I will catch y'all on the next one. Tomorrow we will be back for our weekly anchor message, where we will be getting more specific assignments for the week ahead. What are our spiritual assignments and themes for the week? Okay, peace.